Oh, hi guys. So we haven't made a movie for a few weeks. It's been really humid, and it's humid enough today, but anyhow, I decided to carry the camera. I've shown you guys quite a few things. Holding the bow vertical, canting at 45, anchoring on the mouth, at the front of the mouth, at the back of the jaw, on the ear, So what I'm showing you is different techniques. Different ways to stand, different ways to get on line by bending your knee or just leaning. None of those things are really important though. Not one is better than the other. What's really important is have that bow stretched out and have it juiced so that there's power in it. Then it will shoot straight. And if you do any of these other type of stances or holds, you practice them. But the truth is, you've got to have it stretched out, and that arrow has to be pointing at that target. So those are words, How do you feel what I'm talking about the relaxed arm and letting it just feel like it's hanging and things like that? I've only got words to help you to describe these things, so that's what I'm using. But Michael Thompson was saying, if you're showing us all these things, then it's like showing us nothing. And I had to say that showing you these things is for you guys to practice and try them out and see what works for you. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Now, just so you're clued on for today, right now I'm going to start at 23 yards. I'm going to hold the arrow high, and when I say arrow high, it doesn't mean high like this. It's just high so that I can sort of see under the arrow, but it's not really drawing like this kind of thing, and it's certainly not holding it up like this by my eye. As your arm goes back, it will always go down. So if you draw low, it will go down to here. If you draw high, it will come down a little bit higher, and that's why I'm doing that. But anyhow, today I'm going to hold the tip right on the target. I'm going to let the tip pivot on the target, and I'm going to bring my arm back, and my elbow is going to come down. And as it comes down, as my arm comes down, that arrow will go straight. My elbow will come down and the arrow will go straight. And that's all I'm doing. Holding the tip on, letting the arrow pivot right on the target, lowering my elbow until the arrow is straight. No anchor. It's straight to my eye. I'm not drawing to some stupid spot on my body. Straight to my eye. So when it comes in under the eye, that's it. I'm on. Okay, so that's what we're doing today, just so you know. Anyhow, let's go do some shooting and have some fun. Well, guys, I've shown you a bunch of stuff, a lot of different little techniques. The most important thing that I've ever found is to stretch it out and relax with the right arm completely relaxed. More important than anything. You can put your feet here or there, anywhere. Shoot from your knees if you want. Stretch that bow out. And relax. Most important thing of all. No kind of face anchor works. Open your mouth, touch your teeth, touch your ear, touch the back of your mouth, touch the back of your jaw. It's all nonsense. It will work if you're stretched out. It will not work if you're not stretched out. Okay? That was a double clutch. Just so that you know. I got it back this far, it wasn't going right. I relaxed for a second, paused, and then I corrected, whacked it. Okay? But you've got to stretch this thing out. You've got to let it hang. Stretch it out. And I'm telling you something else. When you draw your arm, if you draw low, it will come down, because your arm always comes down when it gets at the back. So if you draw high, and I don't mean up here, but so that the back of the arrow is about the height of your eye, as it comes back, it will naturally go down, and you'll have a higher angle or smaller angle to aim rather than drawing down, okay? But you can do anything you want. You can aim from down here if you want, as long as it's stretched out, okay? Stretch it out. You know, all this nonsense about touching here. Well, you touch here, now you gotta stretch it out this way. I'm just saying, get it back and relax. Let it hang. Okay? Let it hang. If we get caught, we'll all hang together. Anyhow, when you do that kind of stuff, you'll get some hits. Okay? Okay. We'll be back in a minute. Okay guys, so I set the camera up here, and our target's at 25 yards this time, and I set it up behind me so that you can see my elbow roll. So I want you to see this movement, not this movement. It's not this movement, it's this movement. Watch for the elbow. As the elbow rolls down, the tip rolls on or stays on. That one was just low on his hip. That one's in his heart. One on the hip. They owe me one. Right on the titty. What a pity. Okay, so could you see that? The elbow goes like this. As the elbow comes down, the tip comes on or stays on. We do not do this, raise and lower the elbow. Okay? Even if I just hold it up like this, you can see how the arrow is over to the side, but watch. As the elbow goes down, the tip comes on. Get it? Gotcha! Anyhow, when you do that kind of stuff, guys, you can get some hits, eh? So, you know, one down on the hip, but we blasted them. Be back in a minute. Okay, guys, we've got the target set up down here at 30 yards. Got to roll that elbow down until the arrow looks straight. Roll the elbow down. Keep the tip on. Okay, so that's a very important thing, is to roll that elbow down until that arrow looks straight. Do not anchor. Anchoring only means that you're looking at the target from your anchor point. But if you're, I'm looking straight at it, but now my anchor's here, I'm looking straight at it, but my anchor's here. The anchor's moving. That's a mistake. Only your eye. There's two anchors. One is your elbow. The pressure is anchored from your elbow, and it's completely relaxed back here and hanging. That's one. The other one is your eye. Your eye is what tells you when it's straight. Touching your face is a mistake. Okay? Now, Crazy Creasy was asking me, he's saying that that he's cross-eye dominant. First of all, there's a guy named Jeff Kavanaugh, who's a very good archer, and he's cross-eye dominant. And Jeff just says he looks at the target with both eyes and everything's okay. So that's one factor. Another thing, though, is that you can close your weaker eye. If it's closed, then the dominant one, no matter which one it is looking straight at the target. So you can do that. Now, I'll tell you something else. If I turn my head this way, I start to see double. My weak eye is taken over, and I will probably shoot to the left. As my head comes around, now I see one camera. This is where I want my arrow. If you are cross-eye dominant, then close this one until it lines up. Just means that your head will be moving in a different way than a person who's got this eye dominant, right? Your eye's going to move that way. It should still work okay. So I would say that you can use both eyes, because Jeff does, and or you can close one eye and that will work. And to tell you the truth, today I'm just shooting with one eye. I'm closing my weak eye, because yesterday I was here and I take a couple shots and all of a sudden I saw two, and that's okay to see two. The arrow goes to the center of either one, so you still just shoot straight, but it's still fuzzy. So today I'm just closing that eye and I'm bopping the target, So anyhow, that's a little bit of a talk about eyes, and I hope that helps out Crazy Creasy and some other guys. And when you do that, you'll get some hits, Okay? Okay, be back in a minute. Okay guys, now we've got the target set up at 35 yards. Okay. 35 yards is about, about as far as you want to go with a bow like this. "35 yards, plenty far enough. You can shoot them farther, but 35 is, your typical or farthest 3D distance. Okay, so again, we're rolling the arm until that arrow goes on. Also, there is a optimum distance for rolling your arm, and that is, you see where my eye is here? Well, if my hand rolls right where the eye is, it's close to the ear, but right at that spot, it will roll straight very, very easy right from around here. As it comes around here, you just roll it. You see, practice it. Deliberately do it. Don't do it out here or here or here. Do it right about parallel with your eye, and you'll see it just rolls straight. Pretty easy. That's if there's anything easy about archery. Anyhow, when you do that kind of stuff, and you'll get your hits. Okay? Be back in a minute. Okay, now. So we moved up to 20 yards here. Take a couple of shots. I'm not using any kind of a pre-aim. I'm just looking at it and lining up my jaw and my eye to the target. Also, I noticed all of a sudden I've switched back to two eyes again. All night I've been using one eye. Now it's two eyes. It's interchangeable. One eye is clearer than two. So what? One eye or two. Doobie 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 doo. Okay. Anyhow, you can use one eye, you can use two. If you're cross-eye dominant, you can close one eye and the other has to be the one that's being used. Again, hold your tip on, roll the arm down until it lines up, arm completely relaxed. You want to be able to relax your arm so much that the joints almost separate. And when you do that kind of stuff, and you practice for a while, you'll get some hits. Talk to you later. Bye now.